Considerable debate, not only in North Belfast, but in other parts of Northern Ireland, about the definition of condensation and the definition of dampness. And there is certain conflict there. Shall we say a healthy conflict? And the housing executive in this instance, and particularly with these flats, is coming down on the side of condensation. The best technical advice available would suggest that it could be alleviated, or the problems resulting from that could be alleviated by putting in place PVC cladding on the external fabric of the building.
Is the money there? Is that going to go ahead?
7 million is the total cost for the 7 towers, and will be undertaken as part of a capital maintenance works. That money is already in a planned programme, and when money is in a planned programme, it will take place. So I can give that assurance to the residents.
The PPR group say residents should have been more involved in the development of the cladding proposals, but the Minister maintains that she understands their views.
I want to say to the residents, I have listened, I empathise, I sympathise with your plight. For me, the barometer, the views conveyed to me by the local residents group, I'm saying to you that I want to address all of the housing concerns in North Belfast. In this particular instance, the particular problems and the plight faced by the residents in the 7 towers, but I also want to address the other high waiting list in North Belfast. There must be a new vision for housing in North Belfast.
Back at the towers, as I'm walking with Inez, I bump into Brenda, this time along with another young mum, Marisa. Until recently, Marisa lived in the towers, so she's come back to visit. Brenda invites us all back up to her flat for a cup of tea. Her heating is still broken.
I love a cup of tea.
It's women like Brenda and Marisa who have been trying to improve living conditions in the towers. They've come up with their own solutions on how to make things better, and they credit Desi and the PPR group with helping them find their voice.
Did you believe it could change?
I didn't at the start, no. No, when I come in, I was told, like, once you move in, tell them you can't get out of them. Do you know what I mean? And
no remission for good behaviour?
No, it's not like I said to Karen, it's like day release. I'm on day release.
Did you believe that could be changed?
I didn't, I honestly didn't. When I came on board the group, I think, just almost 9 months pregnant. You know, I was in my last year at uni, I wasn't planning to get pregnant. The flat just was there, done me for the time being. But I mean, I was then definitely, I was like, there's no way I'm getting out of here with a baby. I thought that was it. Until I came on board with PPR and realised that, no, actually, you can change and you can make a difference.
The change that these women want centres on what should ultimately happen to the 7 towers. Should they be renovated and their life prolonged with the cladding project? Or should they be torn down to make way for new and better social housing?
Well, me personally, I think they should actually renovate them from the inside out. Instead of putting this cladding on, it's, you know what I mean, it's just like a false face type of thing. But the work actually has to be done from the inside.
And Marisa, I mean...
I'm like 50-50. There is some people who love living in them, There could be a thing that, I know it sounds probably stupid, that some flats could come down, some should stay up, like these 3 here would be big enough to build housing, but yet then maybe keep Maeve and Ethna and Cuchulainn and Artillery,
For these women who've found a way to begin changing conditions in the towers, Inez has been an inspiration. Marisa explains how that influence has guided her choices.
I'm doing my Masters in Social and Community Development at the minute, I graduated just with first class honours in July from St Mary's.
It kind of breaks the stereotype of the residents with who are the problems, aren't they, Yeah.
We try, don't we? We try, Mrs. Actually, after I was talking about, remember you coming in to speak to us first year in St Mary's about community work and social work. That sounds really cheesy, but it really was an inspiration. That's where I've decided to do my Masters from. Yeah, honestly, from all the work you've done, it's going up Monday to give a talk about how well I've done, apparently. Oh, yeah.
Marisa has moved on. She doesn't live in the towers anymore. Although some people talk about their strong sense of community in the flats, others say living there has held them back or even made life intolerable. It's hard to understand why they don't just leave. And on my final visit to the flats, I asked Angie that question.
What keeps you here? Why don't you just look for somewhere else?
Well, I have my name on the waiting list, but of course it's the properties where I want to go. But poverty's kept me here. I can't afford to do anything else. Sorry. one of those days I have fibromyalgia and I'm on a bit of a low, I'm afraid, and living in this rat hole doesn't help.
Despite moments like these, when the problems in the flats can seem overwhelming, Angie continues to chair a Seven Towers residents group. The work of Angie and people like her has achieved much, but it's the tip of the iceberg, according to Inez.
I mean, there's snapshots in your mind, you know, of that moment when someone who believes they're nothing suddenly believes they're somebody. I suppose I think, first I'm thinking it was Angie who chairs the Seven. She's lived here for years, right? She would have been regarded as someone that she's not the same as us and different. And yet Angie is now the person that people go to for help on a daily basis, how to handle problems. Angie is an enormously talented, bright, capable woman, trapped and living in appalling conditions. In a sense, if you come in here and listen and look, you'll find many more Angies. They actually think they're just ordinary. They're not much, but actually they're extraordinary because they're doing more than you and I would in similar circumstances.
So what happens next in the life of the Seven Towers? We know that the money is there for the cladding scheme, and the housing executives say it will go ahead. Although residents remain sceptical about whether this is the right way to go, ultimately they want a better standard of living, and they want those in charge to take their views on board.
Don't just talk, do it. Do you know what I mean? If she plans to do this and they plan to do that, but there's no action yet, so if she gets the action done, pull your finger out and get heating sorted and get things sorted for these flats. Show us that you mean well and get things done.
I'm Kieran Tracy, and you've been listening to The Seven Towers. The programme was produced by Jacqueline McIntyre.